It's kind of like marriage relationship. It starts out, it's a deck of cards. It starts out, two hearts and one diamond. And by the end, you wish you had a club and a spade. It's just like, it's so rough. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? Renee and I are just so different. We have our share of conflict, even this past week. But what do we have in common? Why are we still together? Because we are admittedly imperfect. I can't put myself on a pedestal, and I find that I'm better at not putting her on one either. And make no mistake, we are followers of Jesus, and we say we are open and we are willing to go along with God's Holy Spirit inside of us and His nagging process of transformation in our lives. So let's just get real practical. 4 things, take notes, just log it away. First of all, I'm going to act. I'm not going to react. I will act, not react. See, we all have different ways of reacting. I tend to be calm, and then I explode. That's the way I react. My wife, on the other hand, she has a way of the silent treatment is her friend. And so she just, that's how she reacts to being hurt. And I'm like, how do I navigate that? I just don't even know. But I love Psalm 141:3. It says, God, would you set a guard? Would you set a muzzle over my mouth? God, guard it. Help it from stop it from opening sometimes. In fact, keep watch over the door to my lips. If my lips are a door, that means it's got some hinges, all right? You are in control of opening it and shutting it. And you need to control sometimes more, shut that door. And I'm just telling you that we've got to act in the right way, not react in just our default way. In fact, a few healthy practices in guarding our mouths and the things that we say. That when you fight, and in every good relationship, there's going to be conflict. And so there's going to be healthy fighting that you have to kind of talk things through and work things out. But when you fight, don't call each other names. Even if your kids give you plenty of reason and plenty of names for which to call them. You don't call each other names, because I found, like in our house, our pet word is idiot. And so we tend to say that a lot to each other in jest and in fun. But I found that sometimes, though, we kind of can lower ourselves. We can feel hurt by it, but also we can kind of start to lower ourselves down to that. We either raise up to what we're called, or we will actually lower ourselves down to what we are regularly called. So we have to work on it ourselves. Instead I should be calling out something as though it were, hey, I know what you've been doing, but that's not who you are. Hey, you're a leader, not a follower. Hey, you change others. You're an influencer. You're not the one that's to be changed by them and to be told what to do. And during conflict, don't call each other names, but call out better things in each other. Don't raise your voice. That's a big one for me. I had to work on that one early on. Otherwise, I would have just totally messed up our kids over the top, because I was a yeller. But I love Proverbs 15:1. It's been a theme verse in my life. A gentle answer will actually turn away wrath. A harsh word is going to stir up anger, right? It doesn't say a harsh word is going to solve the problem, right? A harsh word is going to fix things. A harsh word is going to bring calm. Yeah, it might bring compliance, and it might bring a quiet room, but it does not bring peace. It does not bring calm. It does not bring happiness. So say what you want to say, but stay calm while you're saying it. I've had to learn that over and over in my life, and things go a lot better. Another is, don't get historical. Not hysterical. Don't do that either. But sometimes our memories are unbelievable. I'll be like, you did that last time. Well, what last time? 10 years ago. What? That's so unfair, right? But don't get historical with each other. Forgive, let go, and address the matters at the time. Also, don't use words, you always, you never, because no one always or never does anything. Also, just don't threaten with the words divorce and anything that kind of divorces your relationship. Whether you're in family and you throw around as a joke, gonna disown you, kid, and disown this and disown that. Or, hey, the aging parent, hey, gonna, act up anymore and putting you in the home. That kind of stuff. Or in marriage, hey, just throwing around as a threat that word divorce, right? Because we can have disagreements and we can fight, and that's healthy. But you can't fight right and fight healthy if those threats come out, because then all of a sudden the other person's worried that you're going to bail. So don't do that. In fact, I came from that was the default in my family. So even in our premarital vows, I had to say, look, I got to tell you up front, my vow is divorce will never even be an option, because it's my default from my family. It will never be an option. We will have to talk everything out, because we're going to be together forever. That's just the way it will have to be. And that gave her comfort, because she was looking at my situation going, oh my goodness, what could I could really get myself into something bad here. And, but it had to, sometimes we got to cut those words out of our vocabulary. Don't let them enter into the disagreements and in the talks. I will act, not react. Here's number 2 for managing conflict. I'm going to focus on the good things in you. I mean, look, when somebody hurts me, I cannot see the good in that person right now. They are all bad. They are like Satan incarnate. I mean, it's like, but that is a lie from hell. That is the lie from Satan, the king of lies. It's one of his best tools, is to make you think that somebody else in your world is just all evil. Instead, Paul says God's tool is this. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever's true, whatever's noble, whatever's right, whatever's pure, whatever's lovely, whatever's admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy in any of your relationships, in any of the people around you, think about those things. Call out those things. Focus on the good things in other people before you blow the whole thing out of proportion. And number 3, I'm going to apply God's grace to you. See, I want God's grace for me all the time. I want all the forgiveness that he has to give, because I deserve it. And yet, if you hurt me, I want you to pay, because you deserve it. It's amazing how much grace I'm willing to receive, yet how little I am willing to extend. Jesus says relationships and being right in relationships is so important. He says, therefore, look, if you're offering your gift at the altar, if you're going to church and you're getting on your worship, and there you remember, I got my brother, my sister, they have something against me. We got a breach in the relationship. Look, he says, your relationship is so important. Leave your gift there in front of the altar, and you first go and be reconciled to them, and then come offer your gift to me. Man, oh man, it's hard to authentically worship God when you have unresolved conflict in your relationships. I think it's why Satan tries so hard to get families fighting on the way to church. Everybody ever done that? Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens all the time. I mean, finally, Renee and I solved that in separate cars. But that's not really a solution. But see, you can't worship God correctly when you've got conflict stewing and brewing in your heart. All right? So that's how important God says your relationships are. Bible says in Romans 12, 17 through 21, there's all this stuff about don't repay evil for evil, but overcome evil. You look for the good. Don't take revenge on people, even if they deserve it, but you try to live at peace with everybody as much as you can. Even if they don't deserve being at peace with you, you do good, do the good that they need. That's what you do as a disciple of Jesus. And lastly, I'm going to remember God's grace to me. That's going to change you. Every time that I remember all that God has done for me, how much mercy and forgiveness He has done for me, then I can do that for others. I now have the capacity to do that for others. That's where transformation begins. And it can begin for you today and inside of you today. The old saying, when's the best time to plant an apple tree? 25 years ago, sure. But what's the second best time? Right now. So even if the relationships, there's breach, God says the best thing is to have grace on myself and grace on others and get to repairing the breaches now.